What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 59 of The Charge to the Top here with Hereford FC, and today it's a good episode. It's a special episode. We are taking on a rival, finally. Yes, I say finally, because if we look here at our rivals, I guess Newport County, local rivalry, but you kind of look at the likes of Cheltenham, I guess, we played Cheltenham occasionally. One of the big rivals I was looking forward to having was against Shrewsbury. That's actually, our fierce local derby. Unfortunately, that fierce local derby never really happened because as we went into League One, Shrewsbury, they got relegated to League Two, so we just missed each other, which is a little bit disappointing. But, well, we have a rivalry today. It's against Cardiff. It's a historic game, and it's a big game. We're away from home. Looking at our form here, of course, last episode we took on Sheffield United. It was an 8-goal thriller. A game that on another day, to be honest, we could have won. We had so many chances. We didn't take them. Defensively, we were lacklustre. And, well, since then, we've actually done okay. You can see here we have played 9 games. We've kept 4 clean sheets in that time. Granted, 3 of them of the 4 were 0-0s. But we'll take that. We're a team trying to establish ourselves in the Championship this year. And just the 1 defeat in the last 9 games is really, really impressive. Anyway, as you can see, the first result we had here was a home against Sunderland. Good performance. Shame that we conceded late on in this game. You can see I didn't use my subs. I thought our team was playing pretty well for the most part, particularly defensively. The ratings were relatively decent. Kevin Kelly did get man of the match, and speaking of the man, he's been incredible this year. You can see 14 appearances as a starter, 2 off the bench, 7 goals, 7 assists. He's just been everything I want from a lone striker, of course, on loan from Watford. Was on loan last year, and well, he's obviously agreed, as I mentioned at the start of this season, to be on loan with us until the end of next season. So I'm really excited about this guy. Desperately hoping, of course, that Watford don't choose to recall him at any point. But yeah, did the business against Sunderland there and got us a good little point at home against, a relatively large team, I guess, in the context of the Championship. Anyway, the next 2 games, 2 wins in a row. The first of which came against Ipswich, as you can see. Jay Beckford grabbing 2 goals in the last 5 minutes of the first half. The youngster, 23 years old. A very, very good player. He has that explosive pace. He's very determined. I am still a little bit kind of, I guess, what's the word, cautious of the fact that kind of his overall game is perhaps lacking. He's a very good winger, but his passing, his work rate, they're not, like amazingly stand out. In a midfielder, I'd like his passing to be a little bit better. You can see his pass completion isn't too bad at 77%, and he's getting the goals and he's getting the assist, and of course 2 here against Ipswich Town secured us the win. You can see we deserved it as well. It was a really, really good away performance there. Anyway, the next game we had against Aston Villa, we rode our luck in this game. I think that would be the fairest assessment of this match. You can see we won 3-2, of course, at home. And, well, we've only lost the 1 game at home so far this season. We really have turned Edgar Street into a little bit of a fortress. You can see here we had 1 clear-cut chance. They had 3 clear-cut chances and 2 half chances. But, well, the goals are what mattered. And the goal that won us the game, I'm gonna show you it because I feel like it's worth showing, although I will hold up my hand to admit it's not the greatest goal you're ever going to see. Beckford here, as you can see in the build-up, kind of not played around nicely. Hines has a shot, deflects off the defender, goes in the back of the net. It was his second goal. It's the second goal he scored for the club of the 2 he has scored. And both of them have got us wins or got us points. So I can't really fault the guy, and obviously rode his luck. We rode our luck as a whole. I feel like that goal kind of epitomised the game. Anyway, as you can see in the next 3 games, we've failed to win. 2 0-0 draws in this run of results. Against Rotherham at home, a team you'd favour us to do well against. I think we were unlucky. Good to see Stuart Rumsby get the Man of the Match award. He has had a little run in the first team, that due to an injury to Harry Lennon. But obviously the 23-year-old, the 20-year-old, a very, very good player. I am currently training him to play right back because I think he could be a useful backup to have there as well. Of course, on loan from Newcastle. And yeah, he's good to see him getting, a little bit of run. I guess in the first team, a little bit of a run. And also, with Harry Lennon getting out injured, always good to see him kind of step up. That said, Harry Lennon, if we just have a quick look at him, back in the first team today. Not a serious injury, fortunately, out for 3 weeks with a damaged foot. But obviously, this guy, he's been our big performer this year. So, yeah, it was a bit of a relief, really, to see Rumsby step up and help us secure what could prove to be, I guess, a vital point. In our next game, the only defeat we've had in the last 9 games, it came against Hull. A really unfortunate result, really. You can see they scored in the last 10 minutes with George Gray grabbing it. James Maddison did get a goal for us. Good to see him, of course, on the score sheet. Kevin Kelly, bit of a bad day in the office for him. And as you can see, McGeehan been having a little bit of a run in the first team. He is one of a few players who's actually been complaining about a lack of first team football. So I have played him a little bit more recently, although, to be honest, he's not been, absolutely superb for us. did okay, I guess, against Hull. Another player who's been complaining a little bit has been Anthony Ford. He has now told me he's happy with the amount of first-team football he's playing. And, well, I'm glad that we've given him a bit more of an opportunity. You know, he's had 8 appearances off the bench, but he was begging for some starts. And as you can see, in his last 5 games, 2 goals and 2 assists. So I feel like he's kind of rewarded, what would you call it, the kind of faith that we've instilled on him by, like, kind of giving him that opportunity to play. Anyway, another 0-0 against Derby County, away from home. It's a good result. Derby County, a team who are going to be pushing for the playoffs this year. We were underdogs for a lot of this game. We were playing very much on the back foot, but we made it count. We kept our kind of defence strong. And, yeah, we kind of rode our luck a little bit in the game on the back foot to get what could, again, prove to be a very important point in the context of our season. The next result, definitely the result that I'm the most happy with in this run of games, a 3-1 win against Nottingham Forest. Of course, the team recently relegated. It could have been 3-0, but Assombalonga in the 90th minute did get a penalty goal. You can see here Ryan Ledson getting the man of the match. Good for him. Unfortunately, out of a back strain at the moment for 3 to 4 weeks. So we are missing him, the 25-year-old. A player who came in, I actually thought he had a bit more potential. You know, my kind of scout said he had more potential than perhaps he's got. But I still really like this 23-year-old. His form has definitely picked up as of late. But as a whole, he's not been a standout performer, so to say. So to see him get, man of the match in a big game like this and really lead by example was kind of a fantastic sight to see. Anyway, 2 more games, and as you may have noticed, in the last 4 games, we're actually unbeaten. Another 0-0, this time against Leeds United. It was a very even game. Either team could have won, chances both ways, just no one really finishing them. And then in our most recent game, we took on NK Dons, a team who have been going very, very strong in the Championship. They've kind of solidified themselves over the last 6 years as a Championship side. So to win 4-2 away from home against them, I was very, very happy with indeed. As you can see, Kevin Kelly getting 2 goals, Anthony Ford getting another one, and Sean Kavanagh, the left-back, an unlikely source of a goal. If I'm honest, this guy, he's been a little underwhelming this year, the 28-year-old, but he's doing an okay job for us, and he's not on massive wages, and, well, he got a goal for us here, so I can't really fault him, can I? So anyway, with those run of games, you can see after 17 matches, we're actually 9th in the league, and we're only 1 point off the playoffs. You can see really, Brentford, I guess, Bristol City and Hull, they've got their own little private battle at the top of the table. But anyone kind of below them, it's kind of a fair game at the moment. You can see all the way from Ipswich in 21st up to Derby in 4th. Just 10 points separating the sides. Ourselves, we sit here with a record not too dissimilar to the likes of Nottingham Forest. We've actually got a game in hand on them as well, which is, I guess, an opportunity to try and leapfrog them. You may have noticed, actually, looking at these games that we played recently, obviously, we played the likes of Derby, we played Hull, who are top of the league, and as I already mentioned, we lost 2-1, and it was a late goal that decided it. We've been largely competitive this year against the likes of Aston Villa, another team in and around us, we beat them. It's a shame, really, that we've drawn 6 games, because if a few of those were wins, we could be a little bit higher in the table and talking more about the playoffs. So anyway, today's episode is going to be against Cardiff because it is a local derby, or a historic derby. They are in 14th. However, next episode, for episode 60, what I'm going to propose is that we do kind of a month-long live com or something close to that, where I maybe do all the way from Stoke to Huddersfield live. So that would be, as you can see, 6 games at episode 60, and I'd probably just record the entire month. It'd probably be an hour or so long. Maybe I'd do it as 2 parts of kind of episode 60 and 61 would kind of be a special between them, because 6 matches might be a little bit too long. We'll see. Either way, I'm thinking we do January live or something to that effect, because of course, for episode 50, it didn't really coincide with anything, and with this year, I don't think we're going to be doing too much business in January, so it hopefully won't drag on too much. But obviously it'd be good to, do a few games, and those games very much could decide, do we actually have a realistic shot at the playoffs? And it could be cool to just do a number of them live. Stoke, big team in this league, Wigan, rock bottom, Reading towards the bottom, you have the likes of Norwich down there, Huddersfield, who had a great start to the year but have trailed off. And yeah, there's some interesting games in there. It's actually a fairly nice run of games, so if we could get some wins there, we could certainly rocket up the table. But anyway, let's concentrate on today's game. We're taking on Cardiff. Obviously, we've gone kind of 9 games with just the 1 defeat. I want to keep this going, but away from home, it is going to be tricky against our rivals, I have no doubt. But let's see what we can do. We're the outside favourites for this game. In terms of the kind of team news as a whole, squad's looking fairly good. You can see just the 1 injury to contend with. It is to Ryan Ledson. We've already talked about it. In terms of our team to start today's game, we look pretty good. We've got Chucky in goal, of course, the Nigerian international. Worth noting, probably going to be going to the African Cup of Nations in January, so Elliott is going to have to be on standby. He is still in the first team, Rob Elliott. He's going to be waiting and raring to go, the 36-year-old. I think this is mental. I think he looks like a fairly good goalkeeper. I know his agility is lacking, but as a goalkeeper, I think we can agree he's not terrible. For some reason, my assistant thinks he's a good Vanarama national player. I think that's a little bit insulting. In fact, that's my fitness coach. What does Chris Gamel think? He thinks he's a Vanarama national player. Well, there you go. My assistant just doesn't like Rob Elliott. I think he can do a job for us. Anyway, left back we have Sean Kavanagh. Talked a little bit about him. He's been a little bit lacking. At right back, starting to actually look like a right back now, is Gustavo Rojas, the Panama international. Delighted for him. He's really settled into that right back position. Of course, we've been playing him there since the start of the year. He's really started to get to grips with it. He's kind of Hereford's own James Milner in a way. A player who, he can play centre back, he can play centre mid. I think he can play and do a job for us at right back, and that's where he's been playing, and he's starting to really, flourish in that role. At 22 years old, obviously still capable of picking up this new role, and he's been doing pretty darn good at it, so really happy for him. In the centre-back position, I've already talked about Harry Lennon. Obviously was out injured, but back in the first team today. His match fitness, you can see, it's all tip-top. He's raring to go, and this year, a 7.21 average rating. I cannot fault that guy. He's rated, if I just show you again, our assistant thinks he's a League One player, doesn't rate him. Fans like him, I like him. He's a consistent performer, and he's one of our best players this year in terms of performances. Alongside him, of course, we have got Rob Dickie, the man who joined us from AFC Wimbledon. Kind of a player I didn't think we'd be bringing in, if I'm honest. I didn't think that we needed another centre-back, but I brought him in. Consistent performer, enjoys big matches, he's good in the air. He's not exactly an all-rounder defender, and he's certainly not a kind of super technically gifted one, although his passing's not bad. And his vision, it's not completely garbage. But the 26-year-old, he's been doing a really good job for us. It's a bit of a shame for him, really, that he spent a bulk of his career languishing at the likes of Blackpool and AFC Wimbledon, just because they're teams who have been naturally struggling in their leagues. And, to see him make the step up to the Championship this year and average a 7.02 rating, I can't fault him. At 26 years old, he's found a spot in a team which I think he suits us quite nicely. Anyway, in the centre midfielder position, obviously slightly different because of Ledston's injury, but Tom Davis plays the kind of defensive midfielder for us today. The 24-year-old, you can see he's been a bit on the decline as of late, but he has adapted and really kind of performed quite well in recent times in the first team. You can see 2 assists in his most recent game actually against MK Dons. He got 2 assists, got the Man of the Match award, and got a 9.0 average rating. So hopefully more of the same today, please, Tom. Alongside him, Harry Beautyman, a player who had a little bit of an injury. Of course, one of the big earners at the club. He's not necessarily shown that he should be earning the big bucks yet, but he's not had that much of a run in the first team. The 30-year-old, of course, a little bit of experience. He enjoys big matches. He's a consistent performer. He's a good little centre mid. And hoping he can again have a good performance for us today. James Maddison's also in the team. He has had actually an injury. He was out for 5 weeks with a twisted knee, dating back to October. He's only just kind of coming back into kind of full fitness. You can see his match sharpness down at 80% and his condition not too great either. So he may not last the entire game. But obviously 7 goals for him, 3 assists, 2 player of the matches, a 7.42 average rating. Such a key player for us this year. Out on the left, we of course go with Anthony Ford. I talked about him. Good to see him getting run in the first team. He's got 2 goals to his name as well. Jay Beckford out on the right-hand side, performing very, very well. And also, of course, Kelly doing well too up top for us today. One thing I would like to say, and just kind of bring your attention to, is if we just look at the average ratings and the players who actually play regularly, it's really cool to see that the likes of James Maddison, Harry Lennon and Kevin Kelly, of course, all players who played for us last year, are still very much the top performers at the club. It's great to see players last year who perhaps, with us getting promoted, you might have feared, can they make that step up? They've actually been the leading examples for us this year in terms of players performing well. And Stephen Boyd, actually, he deserves a little bit of a mention. He's been very good for us this year when we've called upon him. A 7.2 rating. Not played too many games, but 2 assists and 1 goal. And a 7.35 average rating in his last 5 matches for us. He's not bad, and he's an option, of course, on off the bench. And as I mentioned with James Maddison struggling a little bit with fitness, he may be the man who has to step up to the plate. Elsewhere on the bench, we've got Cameron McGeehan, as I mentioned, complaining about a lack of first-team football. Certainly a player who can come on and really kind of rejuvenate the centre of midfield, if we start tiring a little bit as the game progresses. Jack Barmby has lost his position in the first team to Anthony Ford. He's a good player though, he's a solid player at 28, can play either wing, also a striker, obviously a very useful, versatile player to have on the bench. Liam Evans back to full fitness, of course, on loan from Watford. He struggled a little bit to get in the first team this year. You can see here, he sprained his ankle. We knew about that. That was back in kind of September time, but he has had a few little injuries, a gashed head and a bruised head just this month in fact, so he has been missing a little bit. They did both happen in matches, but he's an option on the bench for us, the 21-year-old. I'm hoping, he's not going to be suffering too much more from injuries, and hopefully he can start banging in the goals, because you can see here, no goals for him so far in the 3 starts and 1 appearance off the bench we've given him. So anyway, let's submit our team for today's game. A few players lacking match fitness, but that's inevitable with the rotation that's going on. Of course, the players outside the first team, I have got them set to be available for the reserve team to kind of build up their match fitness. But yeah, let's see how we get on today. You can see a win for us could see us move up to 4th. Cardiff could overtake Leeds. They could overtake ourselves, could they? No, they can't actually. They'd be still trailing us by 2 points. But yeah, they can kind of close the gap on us a little bit. They're going to be wanting to win down in 14th. Evans is out. He's had a few injuries, so that's why we've not played him. Pablo Mari is currently out for Cardiff. He is one of their key players. We just look at Cardiff here. Who's their player to watch? Let's find out. Looking at it here, it's going to be Joe Rouse, the centre midfielder. He looks very, very good, the 29-year-old, so definitely a player to be wary of. Been at the club for a number of years. They've also got Nathan Escott, very good youngster, playing a few games, so we'll keep an eye out for him too. Sean Morrison, club captain, and actually, I've just noticed this, Shane Long, their manager. That makes me want to win now, obviously. I'm still bitter, weeks later, for Liverpool losing in the League Cup. So I want to beat Shane Long if we can. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? He's already ruined this season's football for me. I mean, that may be an exaggeration, but I'm going to stick with it. Let's see what we can do here, though. It's going to be hard. But yeah, I'm hoping for a good performance. Let's get on 2D. Let's get into the game. And hopefully we can have a good performance. The last few live comms so far in the Championship, we've not won them. We've scored goals in them, and we've not looked that bad. But I want to show us that we can show everyone we can be solid defensively, and obviously we've been on a good run of form. It would be kind of typical now if we, well, I was going to say if we lost, but I guess conceding after 1 minute kind of is good enough. David Prosser with the goal. I'm going to assume he's Welsh by the name. In fact, his first name's David, because it's not exactly a common first name elsewhere in the world. In fact, there's quite a few little kind of Welsh names here. Hughes as well. I don't think we can blame Chucky for that goal. He hit it very hard and in the bottom corner. But yeah, nice little finish there by Cardiff. Not ideal, of course, for us. And we slipped down to 11th. I want to win a game in a live com, please, this year. That if we don't do it last year, we couldn't lose in a live com. It was fantastic. This year, it's all gone wrong. It's the pressure. The players can't deal with it. Although we might be on the attack here. Kevin Kelly, he's not got a ton of pace, but he's found some space. I mean, he could have held it up for the cross. In the end, he's tried to shoot from whatever angle that was, and it's gone nowhere near the target. Have got a set piece here, though. Maddison whips it in. Zyro to try and clear it now for Cardiff. Keeps it in, clears it up. Dickey wins the header. Nice little play by him. Now with Kelly. Ford. Options inside, perhaps. Now with Tom Davies. To Beautyman. Lovely build-up play here. Lovely football. Can we get the finish? It's a penalty. I think Beautyman might have scored that on the break. He is going to be, I think, the man to take it. He's a very good penalty taker, is Beautyman. It's something we've struggled with, actually, at Hereford, is penalties and just having a good penalty taker. Beautyman is the player who has kind of the best combination of finishing, composure and penalty taking in our team. Can the number 8 step up for us? No, he can't. I want to pause and just look at our penalty takers, because we do have a penalty problem. That would be kind of an accurate description of it all. You can see here, Beautyman, he's kind of the person with the best combination of them all. It's not a great standout, and maybe Liam Evans should be on them, but of course he's on the bench. Kevin Kelly, he's got good finishing and composure, but his penalty taking's cack. Oh dear. Right, well, we've missed another. I feel like we've missed maybe the last 5 penalties I've seen as Hereford coach. Like, it's not been great. In fact, that's a lie. We did score one earlier on this season, if I remember correctly. But, well, we've missed one here in a big game, and I think we might have actually scored had the ref not blown up, which is a little bit frustrating. But, well, we only have ourselves to blame. Beautyman, I want to say I paid big bucks for him. I paid a few £100,000 for him. I put him on a wage of £4,500 a week, and he's let me down. There he is again, giving away the ball now. He's totally bottled it. He's coming off at half-time. I've had enough of him. Right, Chucky. Nice distribution, please, here in goal. He's going on a walk. Gets up. Can Kelly win that in the air? He doesn't, but, well, it's going to fall to Davies. Now with Beautyman. Maddison, Beautyman, Kelly. Lovely build-up play. Oh my gosh. Kevin Kelly. What a beautiful shot. I mean, Beautyman gets the assist. Don't give it to him. Wipe that from the history books. He does not deserve to have a little tick in the assist box for that. Because it was the shot that made it. The pass through. Kevin Kelly. One touch. Bang. Maybe the keeper should do better, but it's from range. It's kind of moved a bit in the air. He's being a DJ. He's got one hand behind his ear. He's scratching some decks. It's 1-1. And, well, now, can we get another before half-time? We could be 2-1 up if it wasn't for the missed penalty. But, well, I can't really fault our team so far. Jay Beckford on a booking. A little bit concerning perhaps for the right winger. He's not had the best day at the office, if we're being honest. But at half-time, it's going to be 1-1. I'm going to tell the players I'm not happy. I'm going to tell Chucky here, he's a little bit upset. I'm going to say, you've been unlucky so far, good effort. Oh, I've cheered him up. Now I feel good. I've made my own day there. Right, Beautyman's playing okay, but he is lacking match fitness. I do think we could bring on Cameron McGeehan and then move Tom Davis to a deep-lying playmaker, so that's actually what we're going to do there. I'm a little bit concerned about Jay Beckford's performance this kind of match so far. What we could do is we can move Anthony Ford out onto the right and bring in Jack Barmby, but I don't want to do that immediately. I actually want to give Beckford a chance to maybe change his fortunes, I guess, as far as this match goes out on the right-hand side, because he's got the pace to really, you know, cause issues for Cardiff, and it'd be perhaps foolish in a way to sub him off and then bring on Barmby and move actually Ford, who isn't the fastest winger, out onto that right-hand side. So we'll kind of play it by ear for now. You can see Ford himself, he's not had the greatest game. He's now on a booking as well. And actually Beckford, he's upped his performance just a little bit here, but well, 55 minutes gone. It's been a really, really tight game. We've edged possession. There's been few chances in this game. We've had the better of them. But, well, 30 minutes left. I've got to think about maybe some game-changing changes right now. A few bookings as well, which is a little bit concerning, of course. A local derby, the tackles are going to be flying in. I might make a double change here. Because Kevin Kelly, fun fact of the day, Kevin Kelly can actually play out on the left wing. Fun fact of the day. If we just go to the full tactics screen, he can play out on the left. Not particularly well, but I think we're actually going to play him there today, and I'm going to make a bit of a radical change, perhaps, some would argue. I'm going to bring on Evans out at right mid. Again, can't really play there, but he is going to today. And we're going to bring in Hines, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop Maddison actually onto support, and I'm going to play these two guys as inside forwards on support. I know this is a mental idea, but I think we're lacking a little bit of firepower. I'm thinking Kevin Kelly on the left. I'm thinking Evans on the right. Like, those two guys as inside forwards, terrifying. I think they can do a job for us today. And with Hines up top as well, I think we've got a nice little balance going on there. Part of me almost wants to move Maddison just into centre mid as well, which we could do. But actually, I think he can do a job for us. We'll put him as an advanced playmaker on support, I think. So we'll have the attackers really moving around him. And, yeah, we'll go with that. You know, a little bit more attacking perhaps in terms of the wide midfielders. Not something I've actually experimented with in kind of practice. It's something I was stood in the shower the other morning thinking, how could I, like, change my team? Like, could I play with inside forwards? And I was like, Kevin Kelly can play on the left. Evans can play on the right. It might not pay off for us, but I want to try and get the win because we've not had one yet. And while Rojas gets rid of that, Prosser puts it back in. Noon scored. Oh dear. Well, maybe... Can I blame... Is the tactic to blame? Is it my fault? Or is it the children who are wrong? I mean, that's the Principal Skinner meme thing. I don't understand what relevance that has to this situation. We don't have any more subs, but I'm going to go a little bit more aggressive. You know, we're already playing a fairly attacking system, but the inside forwards, they're going to be proper inside forwards now. Time slipping away here. I want to try and get something from this game against our rivals. It's been a close game. We've had 4 half chances and 1 clear-cut chance. Time is ticking away. We're going to, have one last roll of the dice here, I think. And we're going to play Evans, Hines and Kelly all up top alongside each other just to be absolutely kind of nutty. Right, Hines is going to play inside forward. Maddison is going to play as a trequartista. I like it. Then we'll move Kavanagh and Rojas up the pitch. I know Rojas can't play there. He can now. He has to play there now. We're going to go with an advanced playmaker on support and also switch McGeehan onto support. We're going to get aggressive. We're going to play a higher line. We're going to play a more balanced width. It's got to be a much higher tempo to this game. Shoot on sight. Hit early crosses. Whip them in. Let's try and make something happen. We have, 4 minutes left to try and get something from this game. Now, I've probably left this a little late, although we've already gone fairly attacking. But, well, we might be leaving ourselves exposed at the back here. I don't know where our defence have actually gone. I mean, we could have conceded again there. It probably would have been kind of the blood on my hands of that defeat. But we've not conceded, and now I believe we can hit them on the counter. Oh, okay. Or they can score the set piece. Sid Nelson, first goal of the season for him. maybe the roll of the dice didn't work. Maybe the inside forwards is something I shouldn't have done. Maybe I should stop experimenting. I don't know. Answers on a... Let me know. Like, was that such a crazy decision? Maybe the tactic at the end, a hint of desperation in it. But I don't feel like we played that badly this game. It's a bit disappointing. You kind of look at the stats as a whole. We had more possession, 6 half chances. It's just a case we didn't convert them. I mean, he's offside, so at least, we've not lost 4-1 against our rivals. But away from home, I was hoping for at least a draw. We've not got it. And I've got to get a little bit shouty, boys. It just wasn't really good enough. We missed a penalty. That really did change the course of this match. And, ultimately, Cardiff get all 3 points and we fall away a little bit once more. Obviously, we're still on course for the mid-table finisher that kind of I was hoping for. But you kind of look at the playoff spots, and when you realise they're 2 points away, that's kind of where your eyes are drawn to. That's what you want to be aiming for. Obviously, we need to get roughly a point every game. I think I set the points total kind of challenge of getting 48 points. That would be enough, just slightly more than a point every game. We're well on course to do that, which is great. But obviously, given our form, I would have liked to have done a little bit better. But anyway, next episode is going to be, as I mentioned, be kind of a live com special. I think what we'll do actually is I'll do Stoke, Wigan, Reading, take a break, and then I'll do Brentford, Norwich, Huddersfield. So the next 2 episodes, they're going to be fairly long ones. It's going to be in January. I'll probably talk a little bit about my approach to finding players and all that jazz, because there probably will be a little bit of transfer business going on in between. But anyway, hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. As always, if you have enjoyed today's episode, please do leave a like. It does greatly help me out and is very much appreciated. And other than that, it is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.